Welcome back to Inside Factory Produce. Today, we are diving into the darkest, most unforgiving depths of our planet to explore a monumental infrastructure that remains completely invisible to the naked eye. We are looking at the global network of submarine fiber optic cables. These are the literal neural pathways of our modern civilization. Over 99% of all international data, from your daily text messages and financial trades to high-definition video streams, travels through these underwater lifelines. Take a look at this vast, open ocean. Beneath this rolling blue mirror lies a world of crushing pressure, freezing darkness, and jagged volcanic chasms. Yet, running silently across this alien seabed is a web of connection that unites humanity in real time. Our epic journey begins in a sterile, ultra-clean laboratory environment. Here, we see the raw material of global communication, a single strand of pure glass fiber optic thread. It is so thin that it makes a human hair look massive by comparison. But don't let its delicate appearance fool you. When a high-intensity laser fires through its microscopic core, it transmits data at the speed of light, flashing information across continents in milliseconds. To protect this fragile glass core from the relentless fury of the deep sea, it must be encased in a fortress of engineering. We see the core being guided into a microscopic, protective stainless steel tube, sealed airtight by a high-speed laser welder, creating a trail of bright white sparks. A special water-blocking hydrogel is then injected under pressure to fill the tube completely. This is the first layer of defense for our ocean titan. The steel tube housing the fragile glass must now be transformed into a heavy mechanical shield capable of surviving for decades at the bottom of the sea. The line moves into a heavy copper conductor stranding machine. In slow motion, you can see dozens of heavy, bright orange copper wires spinning at blurred
entering
speeds,
a mechanical folder,
wrapping tightly
applying a
around the steel
watertight
core.
solid aluminum
This copper
tube
layer
sheet.
serves a dual purpose. It adds structural strength and conducts thousands of volts of electricity to power signal amplifiers thousands of miles away. Next, an industrial extruder head molds a thick layer of high-density polyethylene insulation around the copper bowl. The hot white plastic jacket passes through a long water cooling tray, instantly solidifying it into a tough, protective shield. An engineer analyzes a digital ultrasonic display screen to verify that the thickness is mathematically uniform down to the micron. Any slight imbalance can cause the cable to fail under the weight of the ocean. The cable then enters a mechanical filter that applies a watertight solid aluminum tube sheet, compressed with thousands of pounds of pressure. A secondary extruder head coats the aluminum in a pitch-black layer of polyethylene skin. Now, look at the sheer scale of the next phase. A colossal cage machine holding 100 heavy spools of high-tensile steel wire. The machine rotates violently, weaving 5mm thick steel armor wires around the core. They interlock with a thunderous mechanical rhythm, generating a shower of dry friction dust. A second armoring ring weaves another layer of steel in the exact opposite direction to neutralize torsional stress. The cable, now the size of a human thigh, is submerged into a boiling bath of pitch-black molten bitumen to resist corrosion. Before being wrapped in coarse polypropylene yarn with a high-contrast black and yellow hazard stripe pattern. This is a 10-layer fortress designed to survive a mountain of water. Once the heavy submarine cable is fully armored, it cannot simply be rolled onto standard spools. It is a continuous, multi-kilometer strand that must remain unbroken. The cable spills out of the factory doors and travels along an outdoor overhead gantry system leading directly toward the deep water harbor. Here, a massive, specialized cable ship sits moored under the morning sun. This ship is a marvel of maritime engineering, built specifically to transport and deploy thousands of tons of heavy infrastructure. We look down into the ship's open deck as the armored cable is guided into the belly of the vessel, dropping down into a 15-meter deep circular cable tank. The view from the bottom of the tank is breathtaking. The heavy cable coils smoothly along the walls like a mechanical python. A dedicated team of ground crew, known as coilers, walks in a continuous circle, manually guiding the heavy cable into a neat, untangled stack. Every single round must be placed with absolute geometric precision. A single twist could cause a catastrophic jam when the cable is dropped into the ocean at high speeds. In our time lapse, You can see the tank slowly swallow 5,000 tons of continuous transoceanic cable over several days.
Watch the
In an
alignment on the
adjacent
starboard
tank,
side.
a lighter, unarmored version of the cable is loaded for the extreme deep-sea sections where fishing boats and anchors cannot reach. Finally, a shipboard technician connects a high-tech optical time domain reflectometer to test the signal integrity of the entire coil. The cable ship weighs anchor and slowly moves out into the open sea at sunrise. Embarking on its global mission. Out in the open ocean, the real battle begins. Heavy ocean waves crash violently against the white steel hull as the ship approaches the deployment zone. Inside the bridge, engineers stare at banks of monitors displaying real-time three-dimensional sonar maps of the rugged seabed topography. The captain uses a dynamic positioning system to keep the ship perfectly on its course against the wind and current. At the stern, a massive 4-meter-wide deployment drum rotates, letting the cable out over the stern chute. It plunges into the dark blue water, disappearing into the abyss. To protect the cable near the coast, an enormous underwater trenching robot, a mechanical plow, is hoisted into the sea by a giant A-frame crane. The heavy robot sinks into the water, its powerful LED headlights cutting through the murky ocean current. Landing safely on the seabed at 2,000 meters depth, its heavy steel tracks grip the silt. The live camera feed transmits the telemetry back to the ship. The plow's heavy steel shares cut a clean, 2-meter deep trench into the ocean floor sediment. The submarine cable is fed through the internal guide chute of the robot and laid perfectly inside the fresh trench. High-pressure water nozzles blast sand back over the trench, burying the cable safely away from the destructive Mo-Neo anchors of commercial ships. It rests in the dark, icy mud, silently enduring the crushing pressure of hundreds of atmospheres. Every 50 miles, a torpedo-shaped optical repeater is launched to boost the fading laser signal across the ocean. After weeks of battling storms and waves, the ship approaches the shoreline of another continent, where commercial divers secure the landing line, floating it toward the beach on a long string of yellow buoys. Heavy winch trucks drag the cable across the sand, anchoring it inside a heavily reinforced concrete beach manhole bunker.
The heavy metal repeater sinking into the deep,
the final connection
engineered
is
to
made.
boost the laser
A precision
signal across
optical
thousands of
technician
miles
uses
of
a
ocean
fusion
floor.
splicer to connect the submarine cable core to the inland network. On the digital screen, we see two glass cores fusing together with a micro-arc of electricity. Instantly, an enormous surge of glowing data streams bursts through the cable, connecting two different continents in a fraction of a heartbeat. This lightspeed leap changes everything. We transition to a massive tech data center, where thousands of server racks blink with green and blue LEDs, routing the new traffic. On the financial trading floor, stock numbers update in true real-time, matching buyers and sellers across oceans instantly. We see the human impact of this invisible marvel. A young woman in New York laughs while having a flawless, zero-latency video call with her mother in Tokyo. Across the world, competitive esports gamers compete in a stadium with near-zero ping connection speeds. None of this would be possible without the silent titan resting in the dark abyss of the deep sea. It is a testament to how extreme engineering can conquer the greatest geographical boundaries on Earth. At Inside Factory Produce, we are proud to show you the hidden infrastructure that holds our modern world together. As the cable ship sails into a glorious golden sunset, its monumental global mission is successfully completed. Thank you for joining us on this incredible voyage. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to stay connected with the world's most fascinating factories. Until next time, remember that underneath the vast oceans lies the pulse of human unity. Connecting oceans, uniting the world.
Sell 50,000 at 3. Now, move it!
I need 100 shares of Apex right now. Get me the broker.
It's dropping. Sell everything before the bell.
I can't believe he actually said that.
I know, it was hilarious. You look wonderful, honey.
This could be the deciding round. Nexus is looking for the snipe.
And he gets it. What a play.